So where in the world are you?
I'm in Berlin, back home now for a few
So you,
days.
so you live in Berlin,
Yes,
but you are French and Swedish.
I'm French and Swiss. Yeah,
Oh,
from
and
Geneva.
Swiss.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so how did you end up in Berlin?
And good question, actually. Sam Sure, that you played with in Lightning in the Bottle, is a good friend, and he had a room available in an apartment, and it was like kind of the dream, like house and building, because there's a lot of other music producers, and it's super creative and fun, and I didn't have any place to live at the time, so I just decided to go for it, and and
That
yeah,
is amazing. How long have you been there?
1 year and a half. Actually, it's gonna be 2 years now in December. So,
No way. So I've
yes.
only been there one time, and I was thinking when I was there was amazing, but I was also thinking like, damn, if I lived here, I might die because people just it's like you're the going out culture is it's remarkable, but it's like every night until 9, 10 in the morning, noon.
Yeah,
Like if you live there, is it different? Or like do you pace yourself more or is it just part of the like how what is it like to actually live there?
yeah, good question. I mean, I wouldn't consider myself as like a true Berliner living there in the sense that I'm never there on the weekend. And when I'm here, I'm like not going out, like even almost outside at all. And just working and yeah, making music. And so, yeah, I'm not super part of the, going out like club
Yeah. Do you
thing.
have you DJ'd there a bunch or
And yeah, 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 still, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
And,
And
and it's really
how are the
super
shows?
fun. Like, yeah, the
Good shows.
people, it's yeah, it's really fun. The music lovers and always great energy. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's like yeah, totally different world than
It
in the
is such a different world. Oh my, and the first time I one of the first times I went to Europe was Berlin.
mm,
And I, coming from the
wow.
US dance culture, which is
Yeah.
wildly different than Europe, and then going to Berlin, I was like, whoa, the music and like what people played, it was just day and night. It was one of the first times it was a really eye-opening experience. It's a
Mm,
lot more harder, like techno, than maybe I would
yeah.
choose to listen to. But
Mhm.
is that just like the circles I was running in, or
Yeah.
is that kind of true there?
Maybe. I mean, there's definitely some clubs with like really nice house vibes and much lighter music than yeah, just techno. So
Yeah,
I guess you can really find everything. Yeah, if you
yeah.
look for it.
I
Yeah.
just saw they announced that Berghain is booked Skrillex.
Ah,
Did you see
yeah,
that?
yeah.
How crazy is that?
So funny. Yeah, yeah. There is a
Are people pissed about that?
what?
Are people pissed about that?
Yeah, I didn't really follow, but I think yeah, it's kind of funny. Just
I
Um,
am so shocked by that. Like what a statement they're making with
yeah,
that.
yeah, right. Yeah, yeah. I thought we were too commercial for Berghain, but
Totally. I'm like, wait a second. That means I do we all have a shot to play? That's amazing. So
yeah,
tell me
yeah.
about your piano lesson today. How was it?
Nice. Yeah, it's super nice. Like the teacher is like a music composer for films, and
Whoa.
yeah, he's really good. Like really fast thinking and yeah, giving a lot of information and yeah, it's good. I just started now again with him, so yeah, just the
What
start.
made you wanted to take piano lessons?
And since I was super little, I was like begging my parents to give me like to have piano lessons, but we're living in a small village. It was like, impossible because they were working full time, and yeah, so I grew up like with this thing. And then when I started to DJ and get into the music, I was like, wow, like this is my dream since forever. Like I want to go for it. So then I started at the same
That
time,
is
pretty
so
much.
awesome. And
Yeah.
are they online lessons?
And I did some online lessons a lot during the COVID. And yeah, before it was in Paris with a teacher live, and now here live also.
Oh,
So
that's
it's
so
online. Yeah.
awesome. I
Mhm.
love that you're doing that. Do you find that I begged my parents for piano lessons when I was in second grade as well.
Yeah.
And they found me an amazing teacher who changed my life.
Uh,
Um, but sometimes I actually wonder if I use a lot of like music theory when when I'm making things. And I
mhm.
almost really envy the producers who just like use their ear because they don't have any formal training or piano lessons or anything. And so
Mhm.
I wonder if have you seen like a change in how you make music since taking piano lessons or how you think about it?
And good question. I think I'm still at the level also where just learning the basic of Fury is just really helping me to understand and yeah, maybe at some point it might, but also now this teacher is like really focused on improvisation and
Ooh,
yeah, so
cool.
of course you know then the name of the chords, all the things, so you have the vocabulary, but still, yeah, not being too rigid. Yeah.
Oh, that's
That's
awesome. I think
really,
improv learning that is really
yeah.
important. I started with classical and I didn't find improv and jazz and stuff till like end of middle school or high school, and that was really like revolutionary for me. And I think starting that way would have been really awesome. That's really rad.
Well,
Um,
I envy you.
I don't know. I feel like sometimes I rely on it too much. Like I know that these
Yeah,
notes will work as versus like using my ear. So
yeah.
there's good and bad to everything. But okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you a it's a very selfish question. I love to ask all really good DJs.
Mhm.
What is your okay? I guess like it's a two-part question. Where do you crate dig or look for new music? And
Mhm.
then, assuming you use Record Box, how do you organize your record box and like prep for your sets? Like, are you, once you find new music, or do you sort it into crates that you can then, use that you're then pulling from? Or do you like make a crate for each set based on what you kind of think is going to happen? Yeah, what is your like crate digging and organizational process?
All that I love. I dig a lot. I mean, first of all, on SoundCloud, of course, I follow all the artists that I love. Also on Beatport, I follow all the labels, the artists. So I regularly check, especially on Fridays, all the releases, like one by one, tack, 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 tack.
Wow. You do that every Friday?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, I mean, some Fridays I'm traveling, so maybe I will do it on the Sunday, but or in the week. But yeah, as much as
Wow.
possible. And and yeah, actually, it's really nice. Now I started to work with a guy, and he's basically just putting all the Beatport releases in Spotify, so I can don't like listen to all of them offline in the plane when I travel, and then also same for promos. So then I can just review and yeah, use the plane time for
Wait, how is that you like there's somebody that does that for you so that then you can just listen?
yeah, happy to share the contact if you want.
Oh my God, like that's like you can hire somebody to do that?
Yeah, like a friend, Anders told me about it, and yeah, the guy is like super motivated, passionate, amazing, and yeah, it's
Oh
just
my God, I would love to, dude, it takes so much time to go
yeah,
through promos and like follow the labels and like the new release every Friday. Dude, I get so
yeah.
behind in that.
Yeah, because it's so much, and also because if we're like on a time schedule, then we don't have time to really listen to all the tracks,
Yeah.
and we might miss because there's also so many things that don't fit our taste that we tend to go too fast. Whereas if you're in the plane, then you just have all the time. You're like you don't even want to arrive, you know.
100%.
So
Yes. And it's already but I can never do that on the plane, like traveling because you need Wi-Fi and you need good and like yeah, it just becomes too
yeah.
much. So
But
that's
that's why
amazing.
then, yeah, with this, yeah, you download everything offline and have everything, yeah, available anywhere. Yeah, so yeah,
Dude,
it's
that is
yeah,
genius.
that would be my tip. It just started now, like 2 months ago, so it's still
Smart.
fine.
So smart.
And yeah, so then I like get new tracks. Like every week I'm always like it's every day. It's like I'm always thinking about music and digging and like looking every. So then I get my Beatport cards, get all the promo, and then I put it on record box, and then I have like 4 folders by season, so I have like a time frame of when I got the track, so fall, winter, summer, like of each year, and
Okay.
just so I have chronological kind of order, and then from then I tag them each track like with different moods and vibes, like tags in record box.
Wow. You just go that takes a
Yeah.
lot of work. Okay. Yep. And
Yeah.
like what kind of tags? Like what are some of your examples?
And I have a lot, like, I mean, it can go from more classic, like just general names, like from indie dance, dark disco. And then I have a lot of names that it's more like moods, like dreamy,
Yeah.
cosmic, like to raise the pressure and like
Yeah, yeah.
different some to maintain the energy, some like to like planage in French is like to fly sky high, for the bird, like fly like yeah, like all I don't know different
Wait,
names.
this is amazing. So you're like, okay, I need like you're reading the dance floor, you're pumping along. You're like, okay, I need a track to just maintain the energy, and you have that.
Yeah.
That's how you've
So
like tagged it. God, that's so smart.
So that was the idea, and like since I started, I have this playlist. So everything is like with this. First, I was with iTunes, so it was just like putting it in playlist. But then I would have like a general folder, kind of the around the month, where I put all the tracks that I'm feeling like playing right now, that it's mix all the genres. And I update this and then I transform it, and sometimes I make a new one that would be like a general playlist that I would play from, because still in general, I want to play like really fresh music that has less than a few months. I mean,
Yeah.
so I don't need to see the older tracks, except when I prepare, then I go back in the archive and then I dig them out and put them back in this playlist. But then yeah, if it's like a really, good gig, or that I really
Yeah.
want to be super prepared, then I have like a playlist just for that. And then I love to, yeah, just stay in that playlist and not then look too much through. It's just for me, all these album and tag is just then for my records to be able to access the tracks again, and
Totally. Yeah. So
sure.
when if you're like for like the bigger gigs or the more
Mhm.
whatever that you're like really gonna prepare a crate for,
Mhm.
how many songs will you put in that crate? Like if you have a 2 hour gig, double the amount of time that 60 or something, or do you?
I don't really like look at the number of tracks, but I tend to put a lot. So it can be from
Yeah.
like, yeah, 300 to like 400 sometimes, because I order them by key. So then for each track that I play, there's not that many possibilities. So,
So
and
you
then
do mix and key.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, same.
Sometimes it would be good to be a bit more
Yeah,
flexible, and I
yeah,
try to
totally.
step
No,
out of
actually,
it.
I don't know. I feel like we need like I need some sort of parameter. Like if I can just go into any track, it's just like
Yeah,
overwhelming. Like I need some
yeah,
sort. It's like having too many plugins in Ableton. It's like you need to limit yourself so like you can just like know or you could just do something next, or else it's too overwhelming for me. So I think that's. But sometimes I'm like, okay, this track had like a 64 bar mix out of just drums. Like I could have mixed anything into it. But I definitely do need some sort of boundary. But you see,
yeah.
that is really interesting. I think your process sounds really, you sound very on top of it.
Yeah. I just love it, and yeah, it's fun. Like, because when I DJ, I don't want to be have to think or look, and I want to dance and like
Totally.
share, which is totally what you do, and that I love so much when I heard you.
Well,
You have a like super performance, and yeah, so then for me it's about being as well prepared as possible before, and also like doing the cues, so because I don't like to start the track in the start. I like to mix it in already when it has some energy, so then I set like a starting point, and so
so
then
is
I
your cues are like the when all the drums are in, or like when the vocal hits, or like or if there's a
yeah,
vocal, or what are your cue
I
points
just
for?
have one starting cue, and it's often like just before that it becomes like that the vocal comes in,
Yeah.
or like something really interesting that is still like mixable, but still has also some melody and something interesting, not too bland. Yeah,
Oh
still.
wow. Damn, so you're going to make it. This is so fast. I love talking about this shit. This is so fascinating to see how everybody does it. And I like the gigs where I'm not sort of where I don't like really prepare, and I'm really just like going through every single crate trying to find the next track, and I'm just like in the CDJ. Those are so much less fun than being able to sort of engage and perform and like have a range of things you can pull from, but not too big of a range where you're just. But I oftentimes do you ever I take my record box history, and I save
Mhm.
that, like I save the history and then the
Yeah.
name of the set and how long that set was and whatever, any
Mhm.
information, like
Yeah.
darker dance floor, and that's like I'm oftentimes pulling from, like I'll be like, oh, this dance floor reminds me of
Mhm.
a set 6 months ago, that, and I kind of will pull from that sometimes. Do you ever do that?
And I do or like save all my histories
Yeah.
and like have them stored, but I do not pull from that because usually it would be in this wider playlist that I have already or
Right.
like prepared before, just so I I don't know, I really don't like to go back and search through the folders. Like I
Yeah,
really
yeah.
like to just see all the tracks like and then choose from that what I feel, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's so cool.
Mm,
This is kind of like a before I get into your
mm,
intro blurb. This is a weird kind of larger question, so answer it however you want. But do you sort of have an end goal in music, or do you have like sort of bigger, like a set of bigger dreams or goals that you want to reach, or do you just sort of take it one day at a time?
And yeah, for sure. I mean, taking it one day at a time, but I mean, the goal with music is to share this love, this happiness, and my real dream is like just to have everyone dancing in peace, in harmony, and yeah, no more war, just peace and love.
Oh, I love that, Jade. You're so awesome. Wow, what a great answer. Most people answer that question with like, I want to play Red Rocks or I want, whatever. But that's such a beautiful
Mm,
answer. I
yeah,
respect the
just
shit out of that.
wishing for yeah the world
Mm,
yeah to just be joyful and yeah appreciate this
hell
experience.
yeah. That's
Mm,
awesome.
so, mm.
How many years have you been going to Burning Man? Because I feel like that's very Burning Man energy right there.
And yeah, that was my 6th year this year.
Damn.
Yeah, so I was going before I was even DJing. Actually, like I think Burning Man was a big part of the process of discovery of like music and getting into it. Like the first time I went to the Burn, it was in my camp. Like there was no one, just like a guy playing on the CDJs, and I was like, "Hey, like, could I play some tracks?" Like it was the first time I was seeing DJ decks with no one. I was like, "Oh, maybe this is my chance to
Yeah,
play."
cool.
Like, so I asked him like, "Hey, can I play some tracks?" He's like, "Yeah, sure. Like, you have your USB?" Like, "No, I can't plug my phone." No, like, he's like, "No, sorry." Like, "Oh no, damn it." Fast forward, like, I was so sad. Fast
Understandable, yeah, misconception. Yes.
And so 1 year later, I come back like so proud with my USB key. Also in the camp, it was like Tuesday afternoon, like 1:12 p.m. or something. And I so proud, like I plug my USB key, and I didn't know that you have to use record box. I didn't
Ah,
know.
another misconception. Yes, wait.
Realize anything, like nothing. And I was like, oh no, damn it. Like, anyway, I still mixed, like, without, just play the tracks. My friends were in the camp, like, dancing. It was super fun. That was Burning Man, like, 2nd year. And anyway,
No
like, fast
way.
forward, then I had, like, kind of a revelation, like, oh my God, actually, I'm born to DJ. So then I went fully into it. And yeah, I started really to learn on the vinyls, then on the
You
CDJs.
learn on vinyl?
Like first of all, yeah, before, but honestly, like I didn't get to practice since it was in Mexico, so it's not like I'm yeah super good, but for sure, like in
Still.
the start to understand, it was yeah the way to start. So then when I went on the CDJs, it was already so much easier.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's a great. Yeah. No shit. Oh man, I keep telling myself, okay, you're gonna learn vinyl this year. That I'm just like, just trying to stay alive. Okay, I'm gonna read your little intro, and yes, I do. And ask you some questions. You might have to repeat a few things because I'm gonna ask about your origin story into DJing, but answer however you want.
Yeah,
Okay, here we
sure.
go. You are listening to Femme House Radio with your host LP Giobbi, and this week we are in for a real treat with one of my favorite producers and DJs, Dear Jade. Her signature is characterized by its invigorating power and its heartfelt storytelling as she sprinkles the dance floor with versatile, groovy, and energetic beats based on her wide and various musical interests. Immersed in an explosion of ecstatic feelings and emotions, you will find her feet stomping to the beat, relentlessly dancing like nobody's watching. In her words, I see music as a cosmic connector, a spaceship that can transport us anywhere, anytime. Oh, I love that. Dear Jade, I think you're one of the most exciting artists out there. Welcome to Femme House Radio.
Thank you so much for having me. It's such a pleasure and such an honor to be invited by you.
Huge, huge fans. So tell us your origin story. How did you get into DJing and producing?
And I started DJing by feeling so much love for music, and I was already always constantly digging. Like my parents are always DJing and digging music. So at home we would have like huge like shelves with so many CDs that would be like super labeled and so much music all the time. But I never imagined 1 second that I would like DJ, and I felt like it was dark nightlife. And yeah, I don't drink alcohol, so I never like to really go out, and so it was, yeah, like super foreign. But then then I started to work and travel around the world and hear so much music, more than electronic. And I was so inspired that eventually I had like realization, like, wow, actually I'm born to DJ. I like everything was aligned for me to do this, and it was like leading me to this point. So then I went like from one day to the other, quit my job, leave everything, and just fully like started to learn. And yeah, learn and dig just to build a strong library. So the first few months I was just like alone, like at home, not doing it, not going out. And yeah, and then I started to have my first gigs in Mexico City, and they gave me my first shots. And yeah, it was always just getting more and more fun. And then I went back to Europe, and then yeah, I had also then my other gigs there, and then Burning Man, and everything just, yeah, went naturally. And it's been just such a beautiful journey. I really encourage anyone to follow
Yes.
her music.
I love the light that you bring to the dance floor. It is I remember seeing you at Audio River, and I was wandering around. I played, and then Desiree played, and it was just so beautiful. And then I was trying to find more music there, and it was just like a lot of dark masculine energy throughout all the different stages. And then you showed up, and you just brought so much joy and light, and it was just, oh, I was really just drawn to you. So I just am really grateful for what you bring to the dance floor.
So sweet, and I felt the same towards you. This girl rocks. There's such
This
an
interview is just a
incredible
love fest.
energy. So
Thank you.
yeah, giving the smile. Thanks to you.
I see you. If
Appreciate
you could curate your dream lineup, who would be on the bill?
Wow.
I
Good.
know it's such a hard one. It's a really hard one.
Yeah. Wow. I feel like now it's like such a thing about community, and through music, I met my best friends literally, and who are also producing music that I love so much. So it would be a lot of like these young up and coming artists who are really making incredible tracks and like deserve like the
Ooh,
bright.
tell us some of their names. Yes.
Yes, so wow, it's a bunch. So I mean, so of course, I'm flatmate with Sam. Sure, he's like super inspiring. Also, we're making music together, and it's I'm learning a lot. So yeah, he's yeah, incredible. Also living here, like neighbor with Colore, who
How
was
do you
like
spell that?
you color, like color, and AY, Colore.
Oh,
He
cool.
was a part of Tunnel Visions, and now he's doing also his own project. And
Cool.
he's, yeah, making really incredible music, like singing, that I love so much. Of course, is Bora, is my brother, Bora Uzer. That for me is like the most incredible live artist, like the energy that he brings. I don't know if you ever saw
I
him.
haven't. No, I'm dying to though.
Oh, wow, it's the la crème de la crème. in
Yes.
Like it's just like looping everything, and like just playing every set is completely different. Like it's just using like just a bunch of tracks that are coming like almost automatically, and then he's looping on top, playing the guitar, singing, like doing everything, like taking things, doing sounds, getting people in the audience to say something,
No way.
always looping. And so each set is a total like creation in the moment, improvised, like is
Wow.
wow, like yeah. So Bora Uzer I love so much. And then yeah, a lot of now I just think like another good friend also from Israel, Genish, who is also an amazing producer. And I mean then Amit and Mitagami and Adam Ten, that I super good buddies. And it's so nice we meet around the world. So we're like really on the
I
new.
would definitely go to. I'd buy a ticket to this lineup. This sounds incredible, and I feel like also everybody be being and jumping in, and like that's such a great vibe for a show. And I love
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. You're invited, of course.
I would be honored.
To mention it because it's like it's so obvious now right away, but
I
yeah,
love it.
family, yeah, vibe.
Oh,
It's so nice. So yeah, and the more woman energy, of course, like you mentioned, like Desiree, I super love her. It's so nice to see her also around the world, and so many also like young like women getting into music. That is super inspiring, and I see more and more, and I find that's like such a positive sign for the world, you know.
totally. Different kind of energy. Yes.
Yeah.
So, final question for you. What
Mhm.
advice would you give your younger self?
Wow. Breathe more
That's great
and
advice.
chill, chill. Everything is gonna be okay. Don't need to stress. Don't need
That's the
to.
exact advice I would give myself. Just, it'll all work out. It's like the amount
Yeah,
of stress you're putting on it, it'll
yeah.
work out the same way if you don't put that amount of stress on it.
Yeah, literally, and probably even better without.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like useless. But why? Where is it coming from?
Oh, so real. Just
Yeah.
breathe more. That's
Yeah.
beautiful. Well, thank you so much for being a guest on Femme House Radio. We are huge fans, truly.
So
You
you-
bring such a positive light into the world. Thank you for sharing your skill. Thank you for doing what you do. We love you.
Thanks so much to you. Such a pleasure, and very looking forward to hear you again and dance to your music very soon. Thanks a lot, darling.